What's going on, everyone? Alliance Orc here, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I wanted to show you 10 mounts I would highly recommend you guys farm during the month of July. Because for those who do not know, during the month of July, they are actually increasing the drop rate of all legacy mounts. So anything before Dragonflight that is a mount in dungeons and raids will have its drop chance increased. Now on Wowhead, it does show that world mobs will have their mount drop rate increased. However, it's unconfirmed and kind of unreliable with that information, as it looks like someone just literally grabbed every single mount, including some that aren't even obtainable in game, threw them on that list in a jumbled heap and was like, looks good to me. So I'm essentially going to be letting you guys know 10 mounts that you guys need to farm during this event. And as always, if you guys do enjoy this type of content and you want to help support the channel, just hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. But with that being said, let's hop right into the video. And the first mount I want to talk about is the Antorin Charound. This mount drops from the Hounds of Sargeras in Antorus the Burning Throne on Argus. This mount has only one other model that even closely resembles it, and that is the one from the Argus raid Glory meta, which is the purple version. You can get this mount from the Hounds of Sargeras on all 4 difficulties per tune. So that means every single tune you have that can go into that raid, 4 chances a week. And it's the second boss in the raid, so it's not like you got to go that far in the raid to get to this boss anyways. This mount is beautiful, it is unique, and there's no reason why you should not be farming this beautiful beast, because, like I said, it is an absolute majesty to behold. Also, comment down below. I want to hear, what mount are you guys going to be farming? I want to hear from you guys. If you want to hear my mount, I'm going to be going for the Tombstalker, because Lord help me, I cannot wait to be done with King's Rest. I have spent enough time in that dungeon. This is my day 1 push. I will have this raptor one way or another. Also, I would highly recommend farming this thing as well. He's beautiful. He's gorgeous. Get yourself a Tombstalker. Be like me. Anywho, next up on our list is going to be the Emerald Drake. Now, a lot of you are probably really confused right now. You're probably like, wait, I've never heard of this dropping from a raid. And you'd be correct. That's because the Emerald Drake is actually an achievement from Awake the Drakes, which will send you to the Eye of Eternity for Malagos's Azure and Blue Drake, Obsidian Sanctum for the Black and Twilight Drake, the Culling of Stratholme for the Bronze Drake, which if you do not have, what are you doing? Same with the Black and Twilight. The Dragon Soul Raid for the Blazing Drake, and Onyxia's Lair for the Onyxian Drake. All of these drakes, by the way, are having their drop chance increased. So essentially, you would only have to farm red and purple Netherwing Drake, which are 2 easy to grind out rep factions. But with this buff to the legacy mounts, the Emerald Drake is looking oh so attainable for many people. And I know many people, they are being halted by Dragon Soul because Deathwing won't give it up. Well, guess what? Deathwing could potentially finally give it up. And Emerald Drake, like I said, I love the mount. And it is a testament to your patience and endurance to farm the dragons that you need. But moving on, next up we have Midnight. Midnight comes from Attunement the Huntsman in the Return to Karazhan dungeon, which is the side entrance of Karazhan, not the front gate. This is, in my opinion, one of the best land mount models you could possibly have. This horse is gorgeous. And if it wasn't for the fact that I had the Swift Spectral Tiger, I would probably be riding this thing around as my default land mount. Like I said, attunement to Huntsman and Karazhan. You can farm this mount weekly per tune, meaning you'll have like 4 chances per tune this month at it. But I promise you this horse is worth it, and I would recommend it to anyone looking for a good land mount. Moving on to our 7th spot, we have Vengeance. Vengeance drops from Sylvanas Windrunner on Mythic difficulty, meaning 1 run per tune per week. And this mount is the first Dragonhawk mount that we have gotten in a long time. So it was very kind of refreshing, I guess you could say, to see Blizzard go back and revisit the Blood Elf's signature mount for Sylvanas Windrunner, and the gothic emo undead look to it just makes it all the more better. And plus, get a load of this mount special for a second, will ya? That is peak. This mount is 100% worth farming, and you will not go wrong getting your hands on this beautiful beast. But moving on to number 6, we have Sharkbait. Sharkbait comes from Harlan Sweet and Freehold on Mythic difficulty only, meaning 1 chance a week per tune. And this bird has been the desire for many people since it was introduced in BFA. Sharkbait is, honestly, I've seen there's Quack and Squawks, but the only other variant of a pirate bird you can avidly farm is the one from Island Expeditions, meaning that having a pirate bird mount is a very unique model. Also, if you look past the Plunderstorm event, I forgot about that. But like I said, Sharkbait is very unique, and the real kicker about Sharkbait is you can go straight to Harlan Sweet once you go into dungeon. You do not have to do any other boss in that dungeon. And it's a really solid flying mount. But moving on to, I want to say this is number 6. And there is a reason I am including the Hellfire and Fellfire Infernals on our list, is because not only are their drop chance getting buffed, but Gul'dan has something else getting buffed, which I'm going to show you guys real quick. Then we'll go on with the mount. And that is the Golden Hearthstone card, Lord Jaraxxus, which will turn you into Lord Jaraxxus, as shown right here. And you get the signature emotes of Lord Jaraxxus as well, including the Trifling Gnome, the Euphrates Jaraxxus, Inferno, Flesh from Bone, and you can call people insignificant gnats. Now, this toy only lasts for like a minute, but it's still just such a wholesome moment to be able to become Lord Jaraxxus, even if it is in a bit of a cheap way. It's one of my favorite toys, and I just want to say, this toy took me longer to get than both of the Infernal mounts combined. But back to the Infernal. The Infernal mounts, aside from there have only been, I believe, 4 introduced, and 1 was tied to the trading post, and the other one is tied to an achievement. Aside from that, the only other 2 you can get come from Gul'dan, meaning this mount model is still very much unique and not too overdone. I feel like the Infernal mounts were very well introduced, and the model design has been very well accepted. And that is why I'm really hoping for Legion Remix we get some Doomguard mounts. I think that would be so cool. But the Infernal mounts have always just looked so epic, so badass. And it just really kind of just makes you feel, especially as a warlock. If you're a warlock and you're riding an Infernal, it's just kind of like, I feel like it completes a sense of class identity. Like, you subjugated this Infernal, and now he is your mount. Like, come on. You know you need to farm that. And coming in, I want to say it's number 5. We have the Zerith Overseer. This mount drops from the Jailer on Mythic and is honestly, its movements are a little wonky and it's a little interesting with its movements and everything, but all in all, it's actually become one of my favorite mounts in a very weird way. I don't know how else to explain it, but this mount just looks so good, and its design is like really representing the not like the ancient technology of the first ones is the best way I can describe it. And I was very happy when this dropped for me, and I want to see so many people get this mount because it is an amazing looking mount, and I want everyone to be able to have that sense of joy that I had when I looted this. And this is why my Earthman looks like the Jailer. Don't judge me. Anywho, coming in at number 3, we have the Ashes of Alar. This has been a okay. Let me just give some reference real quick. The Burning Crusade was the second expansion in World of Warcraft's history. That's how long this mount has been out. And to this day, people want this mount. People still try to get this mount. People long for this mount because of how great it looks. It's probably, I know we've had plenty of other phoenixes, but a phoenix in my mind is classified as a burning bird. This mount really hits that design on the head. And while I would love to see Ashes of Alar get like a model update, this mount it just hits close to home, and especially for me because I'm going to share a little secret with you guys. Let me find. There it is. I got Ashes of Alar 2 days before my birthday. So this mount will always have a special place in my heart, which is a little bit of bias as to why I put it this high. But I can't put it any higher than Mimiron's head because I've seen people absolutely go Yogg level crazy trying to get this mount. It is an incredibly unique mount, and I think to this day there is still only one other mount that really even comes close to trying to mimic what Mimiron's head is. And that mount is the Mecha Mogul Mark II, which I'm honestly calling Mimiron's crackhead brother because it literally just looks like the dropout of college version of Mimiron's head, which just it's one of those mounts that just has aged so beautifully. It's the perfect mount for a gnome. It's the perfect mount for a mecha gnome. It's the perfect mount for a goblin. Like if you're looking at it from an RP perspective point of view, this mount is just really great. Now, the only downside is if you play your game with sound on, the whirly bird effect will get very, very, very annoying. And I feel like that's kind of what deters me from putting it at the number 1 spot, especially since our number 1 spot is Invincible. Invincible is the famed horse of Arthas Menethil, aka the Lich King. This horse, where do I start with this horse? My mother-in-law wants this horse. My roommate wants this horse. My wife wants this horse. I'm quite sure my ex-boss who's never played WoW wants this horse. Invincible is the crown jewel for every WoW player to acquire. And I can already tell you, Arthas is going to be he's going to be paying some lunch money to a lot of players when it comes to getting Invincible, because this mount is so iconic in the game. They even have a spot, and I think it's Tirisfal, that shows Invincible's grave with a tombstone for Invincible on it. But with that being said, those are the top 10 mounts that you should be farming when the Legacy buff comes out. Now I do want to give an honorable mention, and that is to the Solar Spirehawk, because as I said at the start of the video, if world mobs do get their drop rate increased, this will be the first time that the Solar Spirehawk has actually been reasonably obtainable, which drops from the world boss Ruckmar and Spires of Iraq. So if world mobs do have their drop rates boosted, I will make a community post letting everyone know. But if they are, you need to farm this mount, because this will be one of the most accessible times that this mount is farmable. But anywho, that's all from me, guys. If you enjoyed the videos, feel free to check out some of the other stuff I have, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.